studio. Welcome, Gabriel.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
It's
having me.
been a whole Wednesday, a whole week.
A whole week, yes.
Yeah, a whole week. I hope that everything's been right with you.
Yes, yes, we thank God.
Now, I have seen people who should be the richest or the wealthiest people in the world, based on everything where they came from. I mean, their home, their surrounding, and everything. I mean, everything was great. But the moment they leave that place, they seem to crumble.
Yes.
And I have seen people who, based on where they came from, should not be where they are. But there's just something between these two people, that something happened or something did not happen,
yes,
that affected their destiny.
Their outcomes, yes.
Yes, their outcomes. What is this that is so key, that literally determines what they end up being, despite where they came from?
Despite your surrounding. It is good that you have given us that setup, because it brings light to the reality of our topic today. And the way you've said you don't want to be a thermostat, you want to be a thermometer.
Yes. I don't want to be a thermometer. I want to be a thermostat.
Thermostat. I think you should be one of our philosophers. This guy keeps generating quotes. I think I'm gonna
These ones are borrowed.
I'm gonna put him in one of my books. So I thank you for setting the stage. But really, if you look at it, is that from the beginning, we can have an environment that is well set for us, or an environment that is disadvantaged to us. But really, what makes the difference is actually what goes into your mind and what comes out of your mind. The environments may shift even in a single lifetime, just for one human being.
Yes.
The environments can keep on shifting, oscillating. But what is in their mind determines what their outcomes are. So the single difference maker is the mindset. The state of your mind, as our big guy says, determines your estate.
Yes.
So you can be in a good estate, but if your thinking is rotten, it is soon gonna run away from you. The estate will take off.
Yes.
It will leave you where your mind belongs.
Yes.
And even if you are in a rotten estate and your mind is in good shape,
yes,
the rotten estate will run away from you, and you will attract the good estate.
So the state of your mind, like we always say, the state of your mind, if I use your terminology, will attract an estate that is equivalent to the state of your mind.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the key thing is the disposition of your mind at a certain time. And the disposition of the mind can change.
Yes.
And that is why you see the outcomes of men can go up and down depending on the disposition of their mind. You could go for an interview in one place that you feel is the best. And because your mindset was wrong, you fail at that interview.
Yes.
Then you get a higher interview for a better job, and you go and pass. So the question we would ask you is, how comes you failed in class 2, but you passed in class 5? The issue is the disposition of your mind. If you are able to take good care of that, then you are able to take care of your estate.
So basically, there is, just like Jesus says, there is absolutely nothing impossible to a man who believes.
Yes, that which he has conceived and believed.
Yes.
Those are the two conditions.
So you have to conceive it and believe it.
And believe it.
Whether it's positive or negative. It is possible to you.
For you.
Yes.
In your case.
Yes.
It is going to come.
It is going to come.
Yes, 100%.
So it is so important that our mind, as we keep on blaming so many things. If you go to the USA, African, they are not Africans, black Americans
Yes.
keep on blaming the white Americans
Yes.
for, you know, getting
Whatever
them into the
outcomes
state.
they are, yeah.
If you go to South Africa, the black South Africans blame the white and the Indian South Africans for their state.
Yes.
I am glad we don't blame the colonials.
Yes.
At least that
Most of us
mindset.
do.
But most of us
Most
still
of
do.
us still do, yes. Most of us
It's
still
the
do.
most unfortunate. For me, it's an excuse that cannot stand.
And we must come to that realization at one point. The reality is, Fred, and I'm sorry to say this, that in this whole world,
Yes.
there is no community, there is no tribe, there is no nation, there is no country or continent that has never been colonized.
Apart from the Ethiopians.
No, even Ethiopians. Everyone in this lifetime has in one way or the other been colonized. Remember, before the coming of the white, we used to colonize each other.
Yes.
Locally.
Yes.
The chief used to colonize the other chief and submitting the other. And you know this issue with kings. The king who was at the top would colonize the fellow kings and subordinate them. Then you know the empires.
Yes.
So colonialism has not started yesterday with our colonizers, the British. Colonialism has been there. Remember in the days of Jesus.
Yes. They were under the
Israel was
Roman.
colonized.
Yes.
If you've read the Bible, how many times Israel alone as a nation has been colonized? It was colonized by Egypt. It was colonized by Babylonians. It was colonized by the Greek. It was Assyrians. You know, it happens that way season after season, year after year. So the idea of using that excuse as the reason why we are not successful is actually lame, and it will never work.
It's foolishness on stilts.
You know, we must come and deal with this lie once and for all. Remember, US itself was a colony
Yes.
of Britain.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So as much as our black people are out there crying, China was a colony. Just the other day it was a colony. India was a colony, you know, and they are going ahead to become the world's superpower. Is still in our time.
Yes.
When will we stop crying foul of this thing?
You know, the day we change that mindset.
That mindset, yeah. And stop playing victim.
Yes.
Because we've played victim for too long, you know. We keep saying we have to be compensated, we have to do this. You see, the outcomes of war can never be compensated.
Yes.
Because you engaged in a war. Whoever died are just the outcome. They are casualties of a war. So what I can say is that the outcomes of colonialism, and I'm not stupid.
Yes.
And I'm humbly submitting this as my personal view, that we cannot keep on going to the colonial master because we are behaving as his victim
And his
for
slave.
him to compensate us.
Yes.
But the day we will treat ourselves as equals, then that's the day that changes our lives.
You know, we have a live example. His name is Ibrahim Traore.
Yes.
The Burkina Faso president. Burkina Faso, Traore took over from a military boss,
Yes.
who was a puppet of the French.
Yes.
And Traore took over. I think he's been now in power for almost 3 years.
3 years, yes.
So when he took over, the first thing he did is kick the colonial masters out.
Yes.
He kicked the Americans out, he kicked the French out.
Yes.
And then invited an ally
Yes.
in Russia because he needed to balance the international superpowers.
Yes.
So now he has transformed his country, which was, it has resources of gold, oil, so many, but the French and the Americans were taking them out and paying peanuts for it. He has transformed that. Right now, Burkina Faso, a war-torn country, is manufacturing its own electric cars.
Yes, I saw that.
He has made the country now
It is
self-sufficient when it comes to food.
Yes, it's food independent, yes.
He has taken over all corporations that, state corporations that the French were running. He's taken back the resources of the country for the country to be used for the people.
Yes.
And the Western countries are livid. They are mad about it.
For how many years?
Just 3 years.
3 years. So it's the issue of the mindset.
So
we have all the resources we need.
Yes.
We have the people that we need. We can change our nation the way we want. We can determine our future. Only if we stop playing victim and take charge of everything that we have with a genuine mindset to grow, to change and to see a difference. It's going to be easy. Africa has all the resources. The world is coming to Africa.
Yes.
It's a pity that Africa is going to beg
to
the people who are taking resources from us. It just makes sense.
It's a mindset that is sickening. I was looking at a report. I was doing a research on DRC. And I saw there is a company from France that has been doing mining in the DRC.
Yes.
Every year, they are able to make close to 1.6 billion US dollars out of the resources, out of those mines.
Wow.
They only pay DRC 49 million US dollars for the activities they are doing there. 49 million US dollars versus 1.6 billion US dollars. It's immoral. It's a mindset problem.
It's a mindset problem. It's just a mindset problem. And you see what the colonizer did is that the most work that they did is to shift our mindset.
Yes.
To create a superiority complex. That one is superior, one is inferior. One doesn't think on his own, depends on a master to think on him. And we have carried forward that thing. It's a pity that our presidents can be put in a bus and taken to a country to be lectured on how to run our own affairs. You see, that mindset is still there, even in our leadership. And until we come to that point where we do that shift, our outcomes are gonna be the same. We're gonna be beggars of food, and we have the largest agricultural productive land in the world.
Yes. It's just immoral.
We're gonna be beggars of loans, and we are the producers of all the biggest mineral. Do you know that there is a mineral in Congo DRC that is only available in DRC, that is the one that makes the chipsets of all the phones and all the computers you see in the world? If Congo owned it alone, then they would probably not need to do anything else. That mine alone is enough to supply all the needs of the country, because China and everyone who is in tech is depending on that specific mineral that is coming from that country. But where are we?
It's a sickening mindset. I was listening to Jimmy Wanjigi, and it's all about mindset anyway. I was listening to Jimmy Wanjigi, and I thought, wait a minute, this guy has it's only that Kenyans cannot vote him president. He has a very interesting perspective
to of our nation.
To what is happening in our country. And how we can be able to change it. And he says the Kenya government is a company.
Yes.
And it's full of crooks.
Yes.
And he keeps on recruiting crooks every 5 years.
The crook culture, yes.
And so these guys, their mindset is to steal. And you can, every headline, you see stealing going on.
Stealing, yes.
Yet this country is so rich that despite being raped by these leaders for all those years, from Kenyatta's time now to Ruto's time, the country is still standing. It shows you just the resilience
in the
of
country.
This. If we had a Traore in this country,
probably we'll turn it around 1 year.
Yes, just 1 year.
It's
And we
enough.
start giving the US loans.
Yes, 100%. So now that we have brought that to light,
Yes.
let's dive down into how you can develop you.
Yes.
Or becoming valuable. And this is applicable both on a personal level, but also now on a global level in terms of a company, an organization, a country,
and all that.
and all that. But we will stay with it on a personal level because we are helping you as a person. Then you can broaden it the way you would like. So I don't know if you've heard of this statement, a leader without a position.
Yes.
I think it's a book
Yes.
by Robin Sharma.
Yes.
And what he's talking about is someone who has built so much value that without him having a legal position, we go to him or her for advice or for direction willingly because we find them so valuable in the things that we want. A guy like Elon Musk, except recently that he has been given a political position,
Yes.
has been a leader in the tech world.
True.
And nobody appointed him.
Yes.
You see, he has been a leader in that world. We have business leaders, we have religious leaders,
Yes.
we have all these leaders, and most of them don't have a legal position. But they've built themselves up to a point now we look up to them. So when we are talking about building yourself up, it's the conversation of how you groom yourself to become something admirable.
Yes.
Someone who is sought after, someone who gives value, someone who is profitable, a source, a well for many to drink from.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
And the difference is, if you never build your value, you never change your estate.
If you never build your value, you never change your estate.
You never change your estate.
Yes.
You can blame everyone you want, but at the end of the day,
You're responsible.
it is the value card that's going to make a difference.
Yes.
Until you work that one out, you are stuck. So I want us to start on a scripture, and I think it is in First Samuel, chapter 16, verse 18. And these are the qualifications of David.
Yes.
So this time, when this situation is happening, is when the Spirit of God had left
Say
Saul.
that First Samuel.
Chapter 16, verse 18.
Okay.
Is when God had left Saul,
Yes.
and now a spirit came into him that used to torment him. So he had these bad moody times, and he knew when the spirit was tormenting him. So they were looking for a relief, a panadol, a painkiller for the situation, because the spirit wouldn't leave. And as he was speaking to his servant, one of the servants recommended David and said, there's a young man, and he can play a harp. And this harp is very unique, because when he plays the harp, the spirit is going to run away, and you're going to have peace. So this was the qualification of this young man now, David. Then one of the servants answered and said, I'm reading from NKJV.
Yes.
Look, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, who is, number one, skillful in playing. Number two, a mighty man of valor. Number three, a man of war. Number four, prudent in speech. And number five, a handsome person. And number six, the Lord is with him. Now I want us to take a look. This is a young man at the age of 17.
Yes.
And this one is for the young guys, because we keep on thinking we are young.
Yes.
But I tell you, before God,
Yes.
once you are around 17, according to research, it shows that Mary was pregnant of Jesus at 16 years.
Yes. She was
Very, very early. So stop this thing of saying, I'm too young, I'm too young, I'm too young. David was 17, and he had developed all these faculties of himself by the age of 10 or of 17. We see how many qualifications he has. He's a skilled player of the harp.
Yes.
He's a man of war.
Yes.
He's a skilled warrior. He fears God.
Yes.
God is with him, and he's very good at his speech.
Yes.
These are things he had trained, literally,
Yes.
trained himself to achieve this much at the age of 17. So we look at David as a very valuable young man who is even known in the state house. Imagine, this boy is a husband.
They're talking about him.
But in the area, in the state house, he's being talked about. So he had built so much value, and that is what we are talking about: building your value to a point where you are someone being sought after. So there are three ways, there are three key things that you must put to focus when you are coming to build value. Number one, self-mastery.
Yes.
Number two, skill mastery.
So self-mastery, skill mastery.
And vision. Becoming a visionary. Why you need to master self is without knowing who you are, you cannot build on something strange to you.
True.
Like, I don't know how to put this right. If you are a stranger to you,
you become your worst, your greatest enemy.
You cannot help you.
Actually, there's a scripture that says, greater is a man who conquers his own spirit than the one who conquers a city.
So self-conquering is the most important conquering in this world.
Yes, if you conquer yourself, even Satan has no business
in you now.
Yeah,
he cannot fight you.
He cannot make you do.
Yeah, he can. He has not. He has lost control.
Yes.
You are the one in charge of your own controls.
Yes.
You see, there's a motto of Nimangu. It says, "Jishinde, ushinde."
Yeah.
Jishinde kwanza. Conquer yourself.
Yes.
And you will have conquered. Yeah, it's the path to victory.
Yes.
So when we talk about self-mastery, I want to maybe break it down a bit, because to give context to this.
Yes.
Self-mastery is, first of all, becoming self-aware. And self-awareness starts with the first question of, who am I? So this is a question of identity. And I think we have dealt with this before. But you should be very certain of your identity. Until you know who you are, there's a lot of gap in developing who you can be.
Yes.
All right? And the best answer I have for this, you are a child of God. That's the best I got for you.
Yes.
Haven't found any other. The bottom line.
If you build from a child, a son
of God, yes.
You have God's nature, you have God's character, and you have creative capabilities given to you by God. God placed you in this earth so that you may create your own realities in line with what He wants you to do here. So when you start feeling as though circumstances and your surrounding have you controlled, then you have been deceived.
Just remember who you are.
Yes.
The scripture says that ye are God. I have said that ye are gods because you are the sons of the Most High God. So that is the most solid identity you can have in your existence. You're a child of your own mom. You realize that your own mom didn't know who you are before you came.
True.
They were discussing with your dad, nika boy yama nika girl.
Yes.
So if you keep thinking you came from your mom, you are so wrong. That truth has been blown off. It doesn't hold water anymore. If you think you belong to a certain tribe, trust me, you visited them. They started teaching you the tribe issues.
Taught you
they taught you the code. They didn't know you before. So a lot of these identities that we connect ourselves to, I'm of this race, I'm of this tribe, I'm the son of who, I'm of a certain royalty or something.
Yes.
Those things don't hold weight if you test them. The only thing that holds weight is being a son of God. The second thing that you should answer when it comes to self-mastery, where do I come from, is the question of originality.
Hold on, I'm thinking the scripture basis also for what you've just said. When you said it, a scripture popped into my mind. I think it's 2 Corinthians chapter 5. I am not sure which verse particular, maybe around 14 of 6, maybe 16,
Yes.
verse 16. It says, henceforth, now onwards,
Yes.
we know no man after the flesh.
Yes. Not anymore.
Yeah, we don't know you after the flesh. I tell you, the way you look.
No.
It's what God has done.
It's until we check you in the spirit that we will know you.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
So this is Paul now that came to this realization that what you see is very limited. It is until you see the other side of the same person that now the difference is gonna come in. Yes. So number 2, your originality. Where do you originate from? You should know where you are coming from.
Yes.
And that is from God. All right. Number 3, what do I have?
You know what you're saying? As you speak, I'm just seeing Christ.
Yes.
Jesus is standing before Pilate, and he tells Pilate, for this reason was I born.
Yes.
And for this reason came I into this world, that I may bear witness to the truth.
Yes.
He knew who he was.
Yes.
He knew where he came from. And he knew what
Why.
he came to, the why.
Why he came around.
Yes.
You see. So those are very deep questions. And until you address these questions, my brother Fred, you are still limited. You are still limited by so many things. Because these questions are the ones that help you rise above circumstances, above situations, above a rotten environment. You see, above a very good estate that can blind you. So these are the things that... So number 4, we've said what you have. You must assess what you have.
Yes.
We are resourceful people. So what is the level of your resourcefulness? Are you a gold mine? Are you an oil well? Are you... What is it that you are? So here you want to analyze your gifts, your talents, the things that were deposited in you. So you are going inside to check what is in this body. What can be found here to find out so that you can develop it. Then you want to ask yourself the question of why am I here? It's a question of potential.
Yes.
What are the possibilities that I've come to achieve in this time? So the potential that you have, you must exploit. The reason for being, you must exploit. And finally, what is my destiny? Where am I headed? Because if you know where you are headed, it will dictate how you act now.
Yes.
It will dictate how you behave now, your actions now. So that is the very first level of self-awareness.
So know who you are.
Yes.
Where
you come from.
Know where you come from.
Yes.
Know what you have.
What you have.
Vision.
Why you're here.
Yes. That's the fourth.
The fourth one, yes.
Know why you're here.
Why you're here. That is a question of potential, possibility.
Yes, the possibilities.
Yes.
And then vision. Where are you going?
Destiny.
Yes.
It's actually destiny. The best word is destiny.
So destiny, vision.
Yes.
Know who you are, identity.
That is an identity.
Know what you have.
The source. No, number 2.
Know where you came from.
Yes, the source.
The source.
Yes.
Number 3. Know what you have.
Yeah, your resourcefulness.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you... Potential.
Yeah. Deal with the question of potential. Why you are here.
Yes.
Yeah, what is the possibility
why am I here? What can I do?
Yes.
Then now destiny or vision.
Yeah, where
are you going?
Yeah, where you are.
Very, very key things.
Yes. And vision is on ground, destiny is beyond ground. Beyond ground.
Yes.
Yes. So
and if we use all those things, because as we say, it looks like every good self-development project literally emanates from the scriptures. Because what you're saying, as I was telling you, as you're speaking, I just hear Christ. He knows who he is. he knows where he came from.
Very certain.
He knows why he's here. He knows what resources are available to
He's
him.
God, yes.
And he knows where he's going.
His destiny.
He kept on telling the disciples these things, not necessarily in the order they are, but he kept on telling them.
Telling them, yeah.
He would tell them, this is who I am.
Yes.
I am the light of this world.
Yes.
If you don't eat of this bread, and some of them picked up stones.
Yes.
And he says, I know why I'm here.
Yes.
I am here to do this. And then he tells them, I'll die.
I'll die.
In 3 days. And then in a little while you will not see me.
You'll not
because
see me.
I'll go to the Father. So all the things you're saying are
Yes.
things Christ kept on saying.
He demonstrated them to us very clearly. So these are the basis, like the most foundational things that if you want to become valuable, you start with.
Yes.
If you cannot get these things right,
Yes.
at one point in your ladder going up,
You
one
missed
of the
The
stepping
steps. Yes.
will be missing.
Yes.
And it's going to take you back down so you can start again. So unless you deal with these 5 things, the question of identity, the question of resourcefulness, the question of where you're coming from, the question of purpose, and the question of destiny.
Yes.
If these things you ignore them, trust me, your journey up there will be cut short by missing one of these things. Once you have this set, once you feel that you're certain about these things, then that is when you go to the next level. The next level of self-mastery is knowing your personality.
Knowing your personality.
Knowing your personality. Now, as you've noticed, we are all different.
Yes.
Even twins are different. We have unique traits that make us who we are. And these traits may be found in another person, but not in the order that they are in us.
Yes.
So you and I can share a weakness, for example, but the level or the intensity of that weakness in me might be totally different
Yes.
from you. All right. So that when we're dealing with personality, we are trying to explore what are my strengths. What are my weaknesses? What are my natural inclinations? Where do I fit best? How do I behave? Is understanding of self that helps you know how you fit in different environments.
And at the same time, this is from a personal perspective. Once you know yourself, you know
This is
you
not
know
the
your
second
character,
level.
yes,
The
and
personality.
you know your personality.
Yes.
You get to a place where you cannot sell yourself short. You know that I cannot do. I will not. I can do, but I have chosen
Not to.
by virtue of knowing who I am and my personality. I will not accept that.
And that is where Paul got and said, all things are lawful,
Yes.
but not all are profitable to me. So he was trying to say that I can do all those things you guys are doing. I can do, but I have come to a realization of who I am.
Yeah.
So
My value cannot allow.
my value can no longer do some of those things.
Yes.
They are lawful. They don't have any problem.
Yes.
But I won't do them.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
I won't do them
Yes.
because of a level he had arrived within himself of understanding who he was. All right? You see the same picture with Jesus. There are many things that are available for him to do. Even at one point, his disciples were asking him about this kingdom. I think you can take over the king. You can be the king now.
Yes.
You know. So all these things were possible for Jesus, but knowing himself, he chose what to do. All right? So that is the next level. After self-awareness, you come to personality awareness, so that it helps you to know yourself, how you conduct yourself in specific areas, what you can allow, what you cannot allow, your boundaries and stuff like that. Now, once you are done with these two, I call them the basics, the very basics.
Yes.
Go to the next level, is skill mastery.
Skill mastery.
Yes. So the basics are self-mastery. The next level, the immediate staircase, is skill mastery. Now, you become valuable in the market depending on the value you can inject into the market. The market is not like God. It measures you with your outputs, not with who you are. God measures you with who he created you to be. So God checks your manual to define you. The market checks your output to define you. Now, the reason why we must care about the market is because we don't live in heaven.
Yes. They look at the product to produce and say, oh, this one is really good.
This is much better.
Or this is value.
Yes, yes, yes. So this is a level that we must now come to, is the level where David was operating. Remember, we've been told that David was handsome. David knew God. These are basics.
Yes.
He had dealt with his basics. He had his spiritual life together. He had his character together. He had, you understand, the basics. Then he came to the skill level. We are told that he was a skillful harp player. So this is something he had taken time to master.
To master, yes.
Taken time, days and days in the fields while he was shepherding. He would play that thing continuously until he had mastered it. The art of war. There are two words. He was a warrior and he was a man of war. These are two different things. Warrior means he can fight on ground.
Yes.
So he had trained the javelin, he had trained the jumps, the sword, he had trained all these things he had mastered. But besides that, being a man of war means you are a war strategist. Even if he doesn't go in front, he can plan a war, a battle, and win. So he had also sat down and built war strategies. The things you can do to defeat an enemy. So these are not spiritual things. They could have a spiritual advantage.
Yes.
That knowing God is profitable in everything. You know, the
But
scripture
he
says,
took time to train himself.
to train himself. You see, God can put knowledge in you, but you must execute. God will not to come and execute for you. So he had taken time to master. So this is the second and important level on level ground when we are talking about things that concern the world and the earth.
Yes.
You must build your skills. Because that is what sells you out there. Now, skills vary widely. But one of the most important skills to me first comes as the soft skills. Because the soft skills give you a landing port for the hard skills. You could be an engineer. That is a hard skill. Yes. You could be a mason, a carpenter. But what if you are an engineer who cannot communicate? What kind of engineer are you anyway?
Yes.
What if you are a doctor who can treat but cannot explain to the patient what they are suffering from or what you will do to them or what they should do after you've done to them? So you see, the soft skill of communication comes in very handy, almost more important. I could say almost more important than your engineering, your doctor course or whatever other course that you may have.
Can you imagine being a pastor who cannot communicate?
An anointed man of God, a prophet who cannot share the message. You see, that's a
disaster.
Terrible thing.
Yes.
So the soft skills, that is timekeeping, communicating, team playing, organizing yourself, planning. Those are the basics of the skills. Then add to it now your hard skills. You could be now a journalist. You could be a reporter. You could be anything, an electrician.
Yes.
Add to it. And the proficiency of it makes you more valuable. I always say that details make a champion, but ideas make a spectator. That's a whole statement in there.
Yeah.
That for you to be a champion,
Yes.
you must be the one with the things on the fingertips.
Yes.
You see, when we go to watch football, Mr. Fred, we go ahead and when we are spectating, keep saying, if I were there where Fred is,
I would have scored.
I would have scored this thing, I would have,
Until you're there.
It is until you get there, you realize that it was not only Fred in the whole field.
Yes.
It was a compendium of so many other people who are also experts in what Fred was trying to do. So spectators only have ideas, imagination, fantasy.
That one should have controlled it na chest kwanza.
Mara hiyo fanya.
Turn left, afungue.
Ingie ndani ni kama kipa alikuwa amelala, some of the imaginations.
Yes.
But the player has the fine details.
Yes.
So you as a person, you must make sure that you push yourself to being the most detailed person in whatever you do. And finally, vision.
You gotta see where you're going.
You got to see where you're going. The problem is absence of vision makes people plateau. You can rise up to a certain point, like my friend I was telling you about.
Yes.
He went up very fast, bought himself to a Markex.
Yeah.
His journey was heading to a Cayenne. Then akafika na akarelax.
Yes.
He plateaued, you see. So when it comes to building value, to building you, to developing you, to becoming a valuable person, what keeps you getting better is having a vision. A personal vision, a corporate vision, an organizational vision, a country's vision. Kibaki gave us vision 2030.
Yes.
It's like we left it.
After he died.
We have been operating on our own until 2030 comes.
Yes.
And then we are going to wake up to that vision.
to do an audit, and we just discovered that we only achieved what we achieved when Kibaki was here.
And the difference between Kibaki and other presidents is that he saw the country beyond himself. So he was able to set the pace even for those others who would come. But the presidents that we have don't see the country after themselves.
Yes.
They only see themselves in the country, but they don't see the country after themselves.
Yes.
And I think that is why they haven't performed very well as compared to him.
I think and I pray that as we head towards the 2027 election, I wish the leaders, we would judge these leaders based on Vision 2030. We say, you came in when we were here.
Yes.
You have taken us up to here, or you've not even moved. And because you've not moved on this vision, out nature, go home.
Yes.
And we get somebody else who can be able to fulfill aspects of this vision. Let us forget all the other visions people are coming up with.
Yeah.
We have a master plan for the country.
Yes.
Let us implement that.
That one. That should be the key.
Your closing comments.
Wow. So my call to action is a call to action. You've been where you are for a number of years. You've done what you've done for a number of years. It's time to level up.
Yes.
And the only way to level up is to add value on you. It is not to wait for a new president. It is not to wait for a miracle. It is to add value on you. Master those three things that we've talked about. Master self, master your skill, and build a vision. And walk the talk.
True.
Walk the talk. And soon, maybe before the end of this year, we're going to receive your testimony on this show.
Beautiful. You got to build yourself. I have seen great men who started off with nothing, but they invested in themselves, the way they see the world. They really invested in the way they see themselves and sharpened their skills. And right now, if I started naming them, you would know them. Yet I have seen, as I said at the beginning, men who are bought with a silver spoon in their mouth, but never invested anything in themselves. And as a result, today as we speak, they have messed up everything that was handed over to them by their parents. They've completely destroyed it. They've brought, like Gabriel was saying, if your state is right, your estate will be right. It will work with you. If your state is wrong, even if your estate is right, it will run away from you so that you can have the kind of estate that you have in your mind. So that's why it's important to invest in you. Well, with that, we got to bring down the curtains on the show. Do have yourself a lovely morning. God bless you.